What's up, guys? Hey, Jared Beckstrand here, physical therapist, toneandtighten.com, and we're coming at you today with 10 variations on a bodyweight lunge to help you carve out better definition in your legs, your hips, and your butt. We're coming at you right now. Alright, so lunges are one of my favorite bodyweight lower body exercises. They're a great way to activate the muscles in your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, as well as your lateral hips. The thing is, we kind of get in a rut of doing them in one plane, one direction every single time, that simple forward lunge. We need to start to think laterally, we need to start to think rotationally to kick on more muscles to make them a little bit more effective. And so that's why today I wanted to share with you 10 variations on a bodyweight lunge to help kick on some of those accessory muscles to help you to take your progress even further. Let's jump into them right now. Alright, so let's start off by talking about what a regular forward lunge should look like. As you lunge forward onto your alternating right and left legs, the thing that I tell people to pay the most attention to is that I don't want your knee to progress out in front of your toe. You need to take a big enough step so that your knee stays behind your toe to protect that joint. Also, when we look at it from the front here, I want your knee to stay directly over your toe. A lot of times people are weak in the hip abductors. They let that knee come to the inside. Focus on not doing that. That is what your forward lunge looks like. Our first variation on a bodyweight lunge is going to be a side lunge. This is a great way to kick on the hip abductors. Those are the muscles on the side of your hip, and also the adductors, the muscles on the inside of your hip. Your emphasis here is again all about alignment. Keep that knee right over your toe as you alternate lunging to the left and to the right. Try to focus on the muscles on the inside of your hip as you're pulling yourself to upright. Focus on the muscles on the outside of your hip as you're dropping down into the lunge laterally. Next, let's talk about a reverse lunge. I actually find that a lot of my patients who experience knee pain with a lunge can actually tolerate this one a little bit better. The reason behind that is because you're not accepting the load onto your leg, meaning that you're not coming forward and putting stress on the joint. Rather, you're dropping one leg back behind you and then just dropping straight down into the lunge. That leg that you're lunging on is in constant contact with the ground. People tend to tolerate that a little bit better. Great way to kick on the hip extensors, the glutes, and the hamstrings a little bit more also. That's what a reverse lunge looks like. Curtsy lunges are a great way to add a little bit more of a dynamic component to your lunges. Also kicks on the hip rotators a little bit more as it has to slow down the rotation to the outside and then it has to generate the rotation to the inside. What I mean by that, so here I'm lunging onto my left leg. It's those left hip rotators that have to bring that right leg back behind me. And so as you lunge here onto the right, get your left leg back behind you and then try to get your leg that's going behind you to the outside of the other leg. So here onto my left, get the right leg out behind that left leg, and that's what a curtsy lunge looks like. Your fourth variation on a bodyweight lunge is what we call a slide lunge. Here I've got a little plastic slider. These are a great at-home piece of equipment. I'll leave a link to that in the description to this video. You can also use a paper plate, works well on carpet, a rag works well on hardwood. And here what you can see is my right leg stays in contact with that slider as I basically drop into a lunge on that left leg. So you're going to slide the leg all the way out to the side. You'll see that my left leg, the alignment stays really good on that. I want your left knee to stay right over your left toe. This is a great way to kick on those adductor muscles as you pull in and out with the slider. A single leg lunge is a great way to take your lunges to the next level. All of a sudden what we're doing now is we're eliminating the support from the other leg, meaning that the down leg has to work even harder during that lunge motion. You'll see I'm standing on my right leg here. My left leg, I tell people I want you to go as far back behind you as you can, as close to the ground as you can, without actually touching the ground. My left arm kind of comes up in front of me to serve as a counterbalance as I drop down into that single leg lunge. Great way to kick on the hip extensors, so the glutes work hard with this. Also those hip abductors as they work to stabilize you as you're standing on that one foot. If you're looking to add a little more plyometric activity into your lunges, these speed skater lunges are a great option. What you're going to do here is take the curtsy lunge and just add a leap into the middle of it. So you'll see that right here I'm going to leap to my right, curtsy lunge, leap to my left, and curtsy lunge. Again, it adds a plyometric, more of a dynamic component to it, works the muscle fibers a little bit differently, is a great way to kick things up to the next level. Our next variation is actually a Bulgarian split squat. Now, I know the name says squat, but look at the mechanics of this exercise. It's a lunge, people. And so what we're going to do here is just kick our trailing leg up onto a chair or a bench behind you, drop down into that lunge position. What we're doing here is we're actually working those glutes, the left glutes, a little bit harder as they fight to extend back into upright from this position of a hyperextended right leg. It's a great way to kick on the glutes and the hams a little bit more. Try that one out. Next, we'll be doing some alternating jump lunges, and nothing works as hard as an alternating jump lunge. Basically what we're doing here is, again, taking it into a plyometric range. We're working those fast twitch muscle fibers by alternating, leaping into the air between your lunges. Again, knee stays back behind the toe. Make sure you scissor enough to make that happen. Works the glutes, works the hams, works those quads for sure. Number 9 is going to be a bench lunge, and so now we're going to take the forward leg and we're going to make that lunge up actually onto a surface. So here I've got a chair, works well onto a bench as well, and so we're going to alternate right leg up, left leg up. I like to add even what I call a little bit of a hip hike into it. So here I'm up with my right, bam, up with my left, and then it's that step up with the right. We're working the hip flexors a little bit harder as we add that kick, that right leg kick, and then this left leg kick works the hip flexors a little bit harder. But as we go into that kind of tall lunge position, we're going to work the glutes, the hip extensors a little bit harder to get up onto that higher surface. Our last variation is going to be a lunge with a leg lift. If you're looking for a way to really kick on your glutes, help that booty to grow, this lunge variation is going to help you get there. What I'm going to do is do what we call a walking lunge or a traveling lunge. Here I'm going to lunge onto my left leg, but then you'll see that my right leg I actually extend back behind me before bringing it forward. So here's left leg, and then that right leg extends back behind me before I bring it forward. It's that hip extension moment that just causes the glutes to contract a little bit harder. They're a little more active. Usually the glutes aren't active in that trailing leg as much as they are in the leading leg, so this is a way to counteract that effect. Lunge with a leg lift. Try those out, and those are your 10 variations on your bodyweight lunges. Alright, so there you have them, 10 variations on a bodyweight lunge to help you tone and strengthen your legs, your butt, and your hips. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button down below. Those likes go a long way with me, so thank you so much for those in advance. Also, if you haven't done so already, it's a great chance to subscribe to Tone and Tighten, where I share a lot of great workouts, tips, advice, anything that I can do to help you take your fitness progress to that next level. That's what I'm all about. So I hope you subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. I'll get to those just as soon as I can. Be sure to share on your social media networks. You can do that down below as well. And until next time, we'll see you right back here on Tone and Tighten.